From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Storm system number 2 moved through today. As we go into the evening and overnight hours, the storm system will push east of us. Now, there's still going to be a lot of moisture left over. There's still going to be a bit of instability in the atmosphere. The instability, basically what that does is it squeezes out any moisture that we have in the atmosphere in the form of rain. So what's going to happen is, as we go into Saturday, it's not looking too promising that will really dry out entirely. In fact, we may still see some of that persistent drizzle in some areas that saw it just yesterday. So Saturday is kind of that transition day before we start getting to drier conditions for the second half of the weekend and into early next week. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail here in a second. But let's take a look at just the overall headlines. So yeah, showers continue at least through the first half of the weekend, as I mentioned. Now, I do expect dry and mild conditions for your New Year's Day, but then a bit of an unsettled weather pattern going through next week. I am seeing signs of cooler air moving in with these storm systems, which would mean lower snow levels. It was looking a little more promising with the forecast models before this evening's. And in fact, this evening's forecast models have backed up just a tad on lowering those snow levels. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Basically, next week's forecast, there is rain and there is snow in the forecast. But the timing, the intensity, and those snow levels, that is all going to be changing here as we get closer to next week and go into next week. All right, so here's your planner for early tomorrow morning starting at 2 a.m. You see the overcast skies we have for the North Coast, inland, and Trinity County. It's going to be overcast. You're going to probably see some of those low clouds, some drizzle, and some light showers. That's going to be the case here at least through the morning hours, if not even into the afternoon. Now take a look at the North State. Here's the valley. Look at the overcast skies. Look at Siskiyou-Modoc County. Look at the overcast skies, even the eastern mountains. So again, we're looking at the low clouds, maybe some drizzle, maybe some light showers out there. That's through the day on Saturday, really. And of course, this is just looking at through 10 a.m. in the morning. The winds, they're finally dying down. They're going to die down here as we take you into your Saturday afternoon. And it looks like it stays fairly calm as we take you through the day on Sunday, even into Sunday night. So this is the storm system we contended with today. Behind it, you see the activity here. Now, it's looking like this is all going to have some form of impact on us, and it will eventually bring us some wet weather, especially by around Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So let's take a look at futurecast and get you through the weekend. So here we are. The bulk of the rain later this evening is going to be off to the east of the valley, making its way into the mountains, the East Mountains. You see the darker shades of blue? That is heavy snow. So to give you an idea, this right here is Lassen Park. Okay, so you got the heavy snow over those higher elevations. And you think Lassen Peak itself is over 10,000 feet, right? So at the peak of Lassen, I mean, you're talking about over a foot of snow, right? And there you can see some of those higher elevations in Siskiyou County as well. But otherwise, it's mainly in the form of rain, is what we're looking at here, above 6,000 feet. Is where the snow is, at least. Okay, so we go into 11 o'clock tonight. We're still seeing some of those showers, but you see how it's kind of a little less organized, if you will. As the storm system's beginning to break apart and move eastward. But we're still seeing some of that snow in the Sierra and in the southern Cascades. But look at behind it. So this is what I was talking about, how there's still going to be some clouds, and there's still going to be some instability. That's going to allow us to still see some showers here as we go into Saturday morning. Now, we're still seeing snow in the mountains, as you can clearly see here. So travel tonight, tomorrow morning, over the higher mountain passes, east of I-5, and even on Scott Mountain on Highway 3, I think you may run into some issues here, chain requirements and delays as a result. But you can see now we're seeing less organized systems kind of moving on through. But this is when we see the low clouds. Maybe some of that persistent drizzle out there. Maybe some light showers pushing through. This is through noon on Saturday, and then Saturday evening. I mean, we're still seeing that. So it could be another one of those persistent drizzle days. Is that a new phrase we're going to use here? A drizzle day? Drizzly day? That's just basically what we're looking at here for your Saturday, though. At the very least, overcast, okay, and some passing showers. But again, I can't imagine we won't see drizzle out there either. Now we go into your Sunday. Look what's happening. We're actually seeing the low pressure system down to our south, but now we're seeing that flow coming around it. So fairly persistent. I think we'll probably see a better chance for some breaks in the clouds. Things are starting to try to dry out, but we still have a bit of a push of moisture coming in from the south thanks to that area of low pressure. But finally, by Sunday night, it looks like any rain should be gone. And then we look at the overall totals and look at this. I mean, this is basically from now, or 6 p.m. that is, until about 10 p.m. on Sundays. And again, the bulk of the rain is pretty much past. We'll be looking at some showers here, but you can see upwards of an inch, inch and a half in the valley, about the same along the coast. And wouldn't you know, I mean, we're just not seeing much activity, not much in the way of water equivalency and water in general off in the Modoc County, Lassen County, and eastern portions of Plumas County as well. We look at the snow totals, and again, I mean, there's Lassen Park, right? There's the highest amount of snow. There's the mountain, Mount Shasta, right? There's some of the higher elevations in Trinity County. I mean, there's the Warner Mountains. You're seeing, of course, the snow up there, right? But you go into the lower elevations into the local communities, and we most likely won't see that snow. I mean, could we see a rain-snow mix in Chester, even Quincy, maybe even Susanville? I mean, it's not out of the question, but I mean, to put in here even less than an inch of snow, absolutely less than an inch of snow. If we even see any snow accumulating on the ground, it probably won't. I think this might be overdoing it here, but you get the idea. It's in the higher elevations. All right, we did this yesterday. Let's do it again today. I mean, because really a lot of you have your minds on the ski park. Are we going to see snow? Are we not going to see snow? I mean, what's going on here? Are we ever going to get on the mountain? Well, not at least this weekend for sure. But look at this storm. So here's today at 6 p.m. It's already picking up on, say, around 1 to 2 inches of snow, right? Could that be overdoing it? Sure. I think when we look at this, it might be overdoing it in general. I mean, you think about the ski park, you're going from 5,500 feet to higher than that, right? So it's really the base of the ski park that we've really got to pay attention to. But I mean, based on what I'm seeing here, I'd want to go within the lighter to darker blue. So 4 inches of snow, give or take. I mean, I don't think that's out of the question. You know, you think about the last storm, the overall snow level should be about the same. So that would lead us to believe that, yeah, we will see snow again. But any snow we saw a couple of days ago on the mountain, that's all pretty much melted. So we can only hope that once we get this here, that it sticks, number one, and that the storm systems for next week are colder and can give us a nice base. And we can continue to see these colder storm systems move through. But I mean, there's just no guarantees that we would even get upwards of even 8 to even close to 12 inches of snow. I mean, you have to go up higher on the mountain before you start seeing that. But 4 inches of snow on the ski park, even at the base, I would say that's not out of the question. It's going to be kind of one of those give or take type of situations, but sure. Right now, let's take a look at the road conditions. I want you to pay attention to the road conditions if you're driving tonight in the mountains and tomorrow morning. Now, right at 6 o'clock this evening, it's mainly all here in the form of rain. We don't have to worry about really any chain requirements here east of I-5. However, on Highway 3, Scott Mountain, 5,400 feet, I mean, we're probably going to be looking at the potential for some snow up there. We saw it with the last storm. No reason why we wouldn't see it with this one, unless this one's a little bit warmer, but I don't see that happening. I think this is about the same temperature, so we're probably looking at the same snow levels. But look at what happens as we go into tonight and tomorrow. We're seeing a lot more snow kind of making its way into Lassen Park. Here's Highway 44, kind of the Bogard Ranger Station. That could create some problems between Aden and Susanville. I mean, you can see a few patches there, possibly. Here's a look at Cedar Pass, Warner Mountains, right? You could be looking at some chain requirements there early tomorrow morning. And of course, we can't forget about Scott Mountain. As we go on Highway 3, there's a look at that snow up there. But of course, it's all going to be in the form of rain as you head over, say, Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain on Highway 299. Hatchet Mountain looks like you're going to be okay. Shingletown, you'll probably be okay as well. But as you start getting down to 5,000 feet and higher, that's when you want to start thinking about, all right, there might be some chain requirements. So I may want to check those road conditions with Caltrans. So just be sure to do that here before you head out on the road here late tonight or tomorrow morning. All right, look at Sunday. It's dry for the most part. The clouds are starting to clear for your New Year's Day. So if you have plans New Year's Day, looks like you're in pretty good shape. Now we do have some storms off to our west. You see what's happening here. We go into Tuesday, Wednesday, we have some rain. Now, if you watched my noon forecast, there was a lot more blue on the map here. Lower elevation snow. Latest forecast models are now projecting slightly higher snow levels. So again, timing, intensity, snow levels, this is all going to be changing here for Tuesday, Wednesday, and even toward the end of next week. You see that storm system pushes down to the south by the end of the week, and then by the end of next week, next Friday, so a week from today, look at that, we've got some more snow. This could be some good snow for places around the ski park, but we're going over a week out. So, I mean, this is just showing the overall trend, and we're certainly seeing that. Are we going to see more snow a week from tomorrow? I can't guarantee that. No, absolutely not. We can't guarantee that. But what we can tell you is that it's still out there. The Pacific Ocean right now, it's got activity. We've got these systems pushing through. They're going to impact us. How they impact us, that's still a bit of the big question. How warm will these storm systems be? How much snow and how much rain will we see out of these storm systems? Again, those are all things that'll be easier to start kind of pinpointing as we get closer to and go through next week. And of course, by it looks like the end of next weekend, maybe some drier conditions. But again, the timing of all that's going to change. But you get the idea, it's happening. We take a look at January 4th through January 8th, and we're still seeing a big swath of green over the western United States. Now, the darker green indicates a better chance of seeing above normal rainfall, smaller and smaller chances as you head north of that. But another thing that I find interesting is that really this whole week, we've been looking at all this orange over Northern California and California in general. That was telling us, hey, you know what, it's pretty warm out there, snow level is going to be fairly high, but now the warmer air is beginning to back off, and we're seeing some cooler air begin to move in. This also helps to support the idea that we could be looking at lower snow levels for the first week of January. Fingers crossed, right? All right, so let's take a look at those wave heights. There you can see 13 to 14 feet, and of course closer to the coast, looking better. I mean, it's finally nice to see these wave heights dropping. I mean, it's just been a bit of a nightmare through this week here, especially for our neighbors down to the south. I mean, you saw all the damage we saw down into central and southern California. Of course, we certainly saw some of those big waves too. But look at this, by Sunday, we're really starting to see those wave heights begin to drop. So this is great. All right, here's your marine forecast. West winds at 5 knots, waves from the west at 14 feet at 16 seconds. Your high and low tide there. There's a look at your sunrise and sunset. And of course, looking at some of those rain showers here for tomorrow, even off the coast. So tonight, overcast skies, drizzle, showers, but mild. However, you can see Lassen Park, 28 degrees. Of course, that's where we're going to see the snow. But, you know, we're looking at those temperatures dropping down somewhere in the low to mid 30s. Here's what it looks like tomorrow. And there you can see, of course, overcast skies for your Saturday. Could we see some persistent drizzle in some areas? Yes. Could we see some periods of dry weather for some of us? Absolutely. Could there be some breaks in the clouds for some of us? Sure. You know, I think about what we saw yesterday. Some people saw more rain than others. Some people saw the persistent drizzle. Others didn't. That's pretty much going to be the setup here that we have for your Saturday. There's a lot of leftover moisture that we've got to kind of stream on out of here. All right, so here's what's going on for the next 7 days. For your Saturday, I've got 5,500 foot snow levels. That's what I was trying to say. Sunday, I'm keeping that chance for a stray sprinkle, a light shower, nothing to get excited about. New Year's Day, it's dry for everyone. Looks like actually a nice New Year's Day. I mean, despite the fact that it might be a little chilly out there, low to mid 40s in the mountains, but there you can see the chance for showers. Now, I'm keeping the lower snow levels in the forecast for now. Note that these will change as we get closer to next week. But that looks pretty nice, doesn't it? 3,500 foot snow levels. Now we're talking Mount Shasta City. Now we're talking Alturas. Now we're talking Susanville seeing snow. Now we're talking Bernie, Chester, mid to upper Shingletown, right? Not necessarily Weaverville, Hayfork, but all right, we're seeing that's a potential. It's not a guarantee, but it's a potential. It's something we're watching. Okay, so then we take a look at the valley. Yeah, we can see some of the drizzle, light showers throughout the day tomorrow. Sunday, maybe a chance, dry for your New Year's Day. And then, of course, we see what's happening there for next week. And looking at your 7-day outlook for the coast, pretty much the same timing, same what we're talking about here as far as the days for the chances for rain. Temperature-wise, mid-50s for the coast the next 7 days. Inland, low to mid-50s. And for Trinity County, upper 40s to low 50s.